right, you guys. The first step in getting the life that you want is getting grounded. Being grounded, what I have learned, is what allows you to have weight loss, less anxiety, better relationships, better decision making. Like, I make much better decisions around food, around whether or not I'm gonna work out when I am grounded. And so the problem is that we live in this modern society, especially in America, where we are bombarded with financial pressures. We are bombarded with too much social media. We are dealing with never-ending to-do lists. And then on top of that, we have this emotional and mental pain where we are trying to comprehend what just happened in Israel. And I think for so many of us right now, we are in a place where we are less grounded than ever before. We feel like we are in that fight, flight, freeze mode, and our emotions are not grounded. We feel chaotic. We feel like we don't have control, and that can feel really, really scary, right? And what happens when we even don't have that going on? We just have the normal to-dos of our day-to-day life, where as Americans, we're normally overwhelmed. Our cortisol starts to rise. We start to have stress hormones that are elevated chronically. Your cortisol is high for extended periods of time. It completely starts to get in the way of you achieving the results you want to achieve. So I know that firsthand as somebody who used to be chronically stressed. I was under eating, I was over exercising, so physical stress. I was working way too much, maybe 70 hours a week, mental stress. And then I had a horrible relationship with myself. I had toxic relationships with other people, and that was emotional stress. And so my cortisol was through the roof. And what that does is that it starts to drive up sugar and salt cravings. It causes you to store fat around the midsection. It drives up anxiety and mental health issues, and it makes it so like you don't feel in control of your life. When we think about elevated cortisol levels, what's happening is that your body no longer feels safe. So your heart rate starts to increase. Your blood flow is diverted away from your digestive system. So you have digestive issues, whether that's constipation, diarrhea, a combination of the two, a lot of bloating. You have muscle tension, where you feel like your muscles in your shoulders, oftentimes where we carry a ton of our stress, or your hips, you just can't relax. Your breathing becomes more shallow. So all of these things start to happen. And when this is chronic and when it's unrelenting, our body becomes unable to relax, and we're in this hypervigilant state of stress. Like I said, that really inhibits you from achieving the results that you want. And so I carefully curated this 7-day reset that is all really surrounding this idea and intention of grounding and getting really grounded within your body, within your mind, within your emotional and spiritual self. And what that looks like is 7 days of grounding, nourishing meals that promote blood sugar balance, that bring cortisol levels down, things that are anti-inflammatory, that help your body respond in the way that you want it to. It looks like slow, controlled, intentional movement, so some of our most grounding flows. And if you're somebody who is not used to moving in a slow way, you are doing those high intensity classes and you're not seeing any results, try this. I promise you, I did it that way for so many years, and I held on to weight and I held on to water. And the second that I started to slow things down and give my body and myself the permission to do movement that I actually enjoyed and that felt good in my body started to respond in the way that I wanted it to. And most importantly, we start to meditate and journal every single day. And so you get really clear on who your true self is, how you feel safe and at home in your body. What are things that you enjoy doing that allow you to feel really grounded? What are the things that you're doing that make you feel not grounded? Where are you rushing in your days? And getting that clarity so you can start to strip some of this stuff away and feel like you have this sustainable foundation after this 7-day reset that you can move forward with and really live this lifestyle to achieve the results that you want. Because the reality is, we really should only have a few big priorities, and most of us walk around with a laundry list thinking they're all priorities. But when we can start to focus and hone in on what's important to us versus what's important to everybody else who's projecting onto us, we can start to really get the results that we want in those specific areas of our life. And so if you're feeling ungrounded, if you're feeling unsettled, I know it's a very, very trying time. But I promise you that when we focus ourselves and our attention inward, we can have more space to help and nurture and carry those who are grieving and those who are having a hard time around us. And so I hope you will join us in this 7-day reset. 50% of the proceeds are going to WIZO, which is an organization that gives back to Israeli women and children who are struggling and in need right now. So I hope that you will join us and give back to a good cause and really find that peace within that I know exists for every single one of us.